Hey, I'm Nicole from SMA Workshops, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute rope rainbow. So what you're going to need to complete this project is rope, and I found this 1/2 inch diameter rope that comes, I think, in 100 feet. I got it on Amazon, and I'll link in the description below. And then you need whatever colors you want to do on your rainbow. So I have these 3 colors here. I bought these on Amazon as well. I'll link to those. And then you'll need some scissors, some tape. I just had this blue painter's tape lying around, and then some kind of glue. So I've noticed a lot of YouTube videos on how to make these. They use hot glue, which is great. It works perfect. If you have that, that's awesome. But I have a lot of friends here who want to make these with their kids and they don't have a hot glue gun or hot glue handy. So I'm going to use something different. So I have this Aleene's Original Tacky glue. So we're gonna give that a try today. So I already have my pieces cut here, and I'm gonna do 3. The way you wanna do it is start with the innermost piece, the one right at the bottom, and think about how big you want that one to be, and then you can go ahead and cut the other ones next. So the reason I use tape is so that these don't fray at the ends. So you wanna give yourself, depending on how big you want that fluffy cloud part at the bottom to be. So I did, what is this? About 2 inches above from the cut. Go ahead and, wrap this around your rope, cut your piece, and then measure how long you want it, put another piece of tape on the other side, and then cut that right there. And then when you do the next one, you just kind of measure it against it. Go around and cut, and do that until you have as many pieces as you want, and when they're all tight together, they should line up evenly. And if the bottoms aren't perfect, that's fine, because we're going to cut those at the end anyways. So once you have this done, then it's time to go ahead and start with that. I guess it doesn't really matter which one you start with, but I'm going to start with the bottom one. I'm going to do this one pink, and just tie a little knot. And then move this tail up so that when you start to wrap, you're gonna hide this little tail. So I wrap it pretty tight, and it's actually gonna end up making your rope piece stretch a little bit, which is fine because they're all gonna do that. You can adjust it at the end. So I like to start at the shortest part, and you just keep wrapping. And once you get to a point where one side is longer than the other, I'm just going to turn this around. Just makes it a little bit easier, and then just keep wrapping going this way. Once you get to the end, I'm going to go ahead and just tie it in a knot. Pull it tight, and then you can just snip off this little piece, and then we'll hide it later. All right, so now we have our first one done. If you need to adjust some of these pieces so you don't have white showing, go ahead and do that. And there we go. Now go ahead and grab your next piece and your next color and do the same exact thing. There, now you have two. And I've seen some people use wire to help make it stiff and hold its shape, but honestly with this cord, once you wrap it in the yarn, it pretty much holds its shape great. So now with the last one, the top one, what we need to do first is we need to put a little bit of thread on here to have something to hang it on the wall. So you can take a piece of your yarn, whatever you have, whatever you want, just fold it in half. And then you're gonna put it on top of this. Take this loop here, put the tail underneath, and go ahead and grab that tail and pull it through. And just put that kind of right about in the middle. And then you can tie a knot here, and then that can be what you hang it from. And then start wrapping. Now that I have these done, I'm going to lay down a few sheets of paper because I don't want to get glue on my desk. And now we can go ahead and take off these pieces of tape. So if you happen to have a hot glue gun and that's what you prefer to use, what you would do now is you would take your bottom one into the shape that you want it, and you would put your glue along the side here, and then you would just hold it together. And you just keep whatever shape you want it to be in, you just keep that bottom arch, and you just glue in here and you just hold it and you keep it in place. But since we're not going to do that today, I have this glue. It's going to take a little bit longer to dry, but I'm going to do basically the same thing, although I don't have to do it little by little because this glue doesn't dry as fast. And then just push it in as you go around. Okay, give it a real good smush. Try and get those sides to really touch each other. If you have some extra yarn, you can even kind of wrap it around the side here. All right, now we're gonna leave that to dry. So I came back and took the little ties off, and it worked pretty good. This is holding together just fine. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the top arch and glue that onto the rest of it. I'm gonna try this glue this time. So here's the quick dry tacky glue. Same brand, I got it in the same package with the other glue. So first I have this little tail here. I just want to trim it and kind of tuck it back. Just kind of move it out of the way so you don't see it in the front. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and put the glue. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that to dry and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so this worked out great. Just gonna take these off and just snip these now. Yeah, that held together awesome. So now just undo the bottom parts of your rope. And then you can either leave it or take your scissors to even out your fringe. I think other than that, it looks pretty good. And that's it.